Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff with Traffic Safety Supply Company located in Portland, Oregon. Our purpose is to save and enrich lives. We do this through manufacturing signs like this ADA sign, all the way up to this big guide sign. In addition, we distribute a wide variety of products, including cones, barrels, barricades, roll-up signs, a variety of signposts and delineators, variable message signs, intrusion alarms, LED-enhanced signs, rapid flashing beacons, and impact attenuators that can take a vehicle from 60 to 0 and deliver the occupant safely home to their family at night. The products that we sell save lives, and this is why we always want to keep improving. So in early fun as a group, if you do well at Plinko, you can make a three-pointer like that. That's our first ever right there. So those are some of the things we do as a group, and that morning meeting provides a great opportunity for us to come together as a team.
That's the first one. That's the first one.
So then directly after the morning meeting, we get into 3S. We sweep, we sort, we standardize. We have a schedule where we'll do maintenance items on an ongoing basis, and everyone gets to participate in that. We have all of our members on the team that participate in cleaning the bathrooms and the break room and outdoor areas. And then other people in the company during 3S time can look on to make improvements in their workstation so it sets up their day to be optimized. One of the ways that we share our improvements across our organization is that we have a signal chat, and that allows us to inspire one another. And a lot of times what we'll find is that good ideas will have that lateral transmission of information, Yokoten, and other people can understand what's going on. It just gives us the opportunity to recognize each other, and then we use these videos to pull into our morning meeting so that everyone can see what's going on within the organization. All right, so this is our lean cave. I'd like you to meet Ben here, and he's going to talk to us about how we got to this point. Everybody. But before we do, I remember early on in our journey, we'd look at Alex Ramirez and his lean cave, and those guys at Valorec were on point. They had chrome on it. They had, yeah, it was pretty. And we're getting there. We're working on it, but it's been getting better and better, right? So do you want to go through with the team what we have here?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, this is our lean cave. This is probably my favorite. In fact, it is my favorite room in the whole building. The team has, I think this is our third or fourth iteration of this. They've been working on it. We have everything you need to do a project of any kind, a continuous improvement project. We have GPS dots, we have floor tape, GPS tape, Velcro, all kinds of binding, all kinds of hooks, anything you need to get a project done, we've got. And if you ever feel as if we don't have something, in the spirit of continuous improvement, we always have another way to make that improvement. So in this situation, we have a QR code that allows people to scan that and request a new tool or new item. Something else I just love in the Lean Cave is Kaizen foam. This is a great product. We learned about this from Paul Akers, and it's phenomenal. The best part about this is it creates a very strong visual control and standard. There is no way that you can't figure out which wrench goes into which place. It is wonderful. Even my kids, I wish I could do this with all their toys, honestly. So GPS tape as well. So if you ever need to find or rehome a tool, you know where that goes. And if you've ever needed to make this in the Lean Cave, we have the toolkit right here to do that. We have a little Kaizen caddy, as we call it, and it's got Kaizen corners and tape, and we know that the color that exists in this space. If you ever need resupply, you can just look at this crumb trail right here, and it leads you right back to the Lean Cave where this red square is. If you have never used Kaizen foam or cut it before, I had never used any of this. In this case, for many people, we have procedures for this. Now we're creating standards, which I like to think of as having a good recipe. When everyone knows the steps, there's just less guesswork, and we're not stuck repeating the same instructions over and over again, and things just run smoother. Our struggle has always been, where do we keep the info? Normally, we've just been hiding things in the back of the digital closet, but now we're focused on putting the answer exactly where the question is asked, and this has been making life a whole lot easier. We do like one-on-one training, but we'd rather have the resources that everyone can access anytime they need. So that way, we're not always waiting on someone to be free to explain things or have silos where information gets stuck. At the end of the day, by making things accessible and setting up some clear guidelines, we've been saving time, money, and our sanity. Work smarter, not harder, what we like to say. So you just saw some of our SOPs out in the wild. You can't talk about SOPs without talking about Kanban, and you can't talk about either of those things without talking about Gemba Docs. I want to give a shout out to Tom Hughes. Very big thank you. We use Gemba Docs a lot for all of our SOPs as well as our Kanban. The reason why we use Kanban, if you haven't discovered this, it's a fantastic tool. We have an ERP system, but it doesn't address our consumables. It doesn't address it at all. So we now have a Kanban system, a Kanban card system. This is fantastic. This is about, I think, the 5th version of this particular Kanban system. We have struggled with trying to find the best way to attach it without knocking it, break it, things like that. We're now on this nice slider, which it comes green and red. We just put a QR code in here. We put a little bit of the product information. Someone comes up and scans it, slides it over. It's red. We all know visually that these are in order. When they come in, it simply goes back to green, and we're going again. And so that is Kanban.
So the 8th waste is unused employee genius, and I would say nothing more epitomizes that waste than how we were operating pre-lean. Thomas has done some amazing things with our 3D printer. Can you talk to us about some of the improvements you made and how lean has unlocked your genius?
Yeah, since we got the 3D printer, there's been all sorts of issues that bug me around here. So I've been fixing a lot of them. There's casters that roll around on their own sometimes. So I've created caster chucks for those. There's plenty of times that we need a flashlight handy. I've created little flashlight holders so we can grab those when we need them. There's a little holder piece on the router that holds equipment for that. There's the Plinko discs for the fun Plinko board we got. And there's a little shoe on the Zoom that holds down material so we don't have to tape down the material all the time, saving a lot of time for us.
Okay, how about the time when we had that problem with the corner machine and the corners were stacking up there, and the next thing you come in with this thing that's using the air from the machine to blow off?
Yeah, so when the corners would all stack up, you'd have to reach your hand back behind it and brush them all the way, and they're very sharp corners. You get cut by them. So I came up with the idea, and this was before lean. I tried rerouting the air that's already being blown through the machine to blow the corners off. But before we had a 3D printer, I had no way to actually direct that air. Once we got a 3D printer, I was able to create something to precisely blow the air in a specific direction to blow the corners right off the back. And then we don't have to reach our hand back there anymore. It makes the job a lot easier and a lot better. And I noticed the struggle with the radius, measuring the radius on signs. It's hard to just eyeball it. So I created this little measuring tool here so we can easily identify what the radius on one of our signs is. So once we found out about the struggle of applying our stickers straight, I made this little sticker square here. This was the first rendition. I realized it needed a handle, so I added a handle to the second one here. And I realized the handle wasn't in a good spot, so I moved it down here. And this was the final product, this yellow one here.